is in your second house at 21 degrees of Sagittarius, and Neptune in the sky will be at 21 degrees of Pisces, which is going to make that an exact square on the 13th of April, 2021. That's the first hit. The first hit is where it's where we're first shown what material is going to be coming up. We get an idea about the topics that we're going to be working. You don't really know, though. We don't really know. That's the whole point of a Neptune initiation, is to get us steeped in the reality of the unknown, of the whole sea of consciousness. So let's just take a moment, get grounded, get in our bodies. As you may or may not know, I just completed the Neptune initiation, but because my Neptune's at 20 degrees Pisces, it's just now finishing. It's just now not going to go back over that point again. And after any of these planetary initiations, it takes about a year to 2 years to fully integrate the lessons of what that planetary initiation was about. So let's just take a minute, get grounded, calling all of your energy back in towards your spine, opening up the spine, opening up through the crown of the head and all the way down to the base of the spine, opening all of that up, pulling the energy of yourself back in towards your center. On your exhales, just allowing all of your energy to shift and move, and allowing space for your body to do what it needs to do. And for this session with you today, I want to call in Neptune, calling in Neptune, that planetary force of Neptune, the archetypes involved. Nephthys, which is Isis's twin sister, who is the archetype that's most like Neptune. And then all of those sea, S-E-A-E, sea gods and goddesses that are associated with that Neptune archetype. All right, so the first hit you have on the 13th of April. Today is the 4th. So you're probably already feeling it. I personally noticed like 2 months before the exact hit was when the real things started happening. And that's just my own, mine hit in May. February, I started feeling it. February, March, April, May. So 3 months. But it could vary, and also depends upon what planets that you have nearby. So Neptune, let's look at where Pisces is on your chart. There's nothing really right there that there's no planetary influences nearby, so it doesn't mean anything though in that direction. Neptune 30, 60, 90. Your Saturn is at 20 degrees of Virgo. So Virgo and natal Neptune are Virgo on your natal chart and Neptune in the sky are making a direct opposition with each other. So that could be something that you start to feel early before the actual start of the Neptune initiation. So anyway, it is a building up because Neptune moves very slowly. So you could, it's like a week away, the exact hit. So I'm pretty sure you're already starting to feel it. Anyway, at the onset of the initiation, this is in your second house. So, okay, let's first talk about this. Neptune is meant to bring us to a place of not knowing, because in not knowing, we dissolve everything that we think we know. In the not knowing, we taste infinity and the vastness of the whole sea of consciousness as ourself. So as yourself, as the whole sea of consciousness, you get to taste the unreality, the not yet created, the cosmic womb of creation. So Neptune is like, it feels like this swirling black womb of creation that it's very, there's a lot of movement, a lot of spinning. It's like a dream where it's nothing and it's everything, and it's not yet created. So there's a in the spin cycle, not knowing, this image of a tornado, or like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, spinning, spinning. You see all these things going around, and you're like, don't know where you're at or where you're going. And that the purpose of this Neptune cycle is to show you that you're nothing and that you're everything, so that you are free to create whatever it is that creator is dreaming through you. So everything from your previous dream, even the good things, everything from your previous dream, which has created your life up to this point, gets this action of spinning into the void. So I felt Neptune so similar to Pluto in a lot of ways, that Neptune felt a lot like the Pluto cycle in the sense of things leaving and not knowing what the hell I was supposed to do. And there's a lot of not doing, a lot of undoing. So in the undoing, in the Neptune initiation, there's a lot of downtime, a lot of time that you're just not doing anything, laying around. It's almost like that day you have a lot to do, and there's so much to do that you don't know where to start, that it's nighttime and you haven't done anything. I felt like during the Neptune initiation, I had a lot of days like that. So what's the point of this? In your second house, it's about your abundance, about pleasure, luxury, about your money, what's valuable to you, how you create your money. A lot of this has to do with what's beautiful to you. Your home in the sense of at home in your body, and the pleasure of home. So the second house is it's not home in the sense of the fourth house. Home in the fourth, actually, like more about your home, the lineage that you come from, your roots, and all of that. The second house is more like how you afford your home. I think of the second house like all the things that we need to support living in the world. So shelter, food, shelter, pleasure, love, the basic, that pyramid of what humans need. That's the second house. So going into this Neptune initiation, knowing that the second house is being worked, I got chills. Oh, because it can be very scary because you don't know. And I don't know about you, but for me, it's like, that's everything to me, is knowing, like being able to know. And then I'm like, okay, I know everything's going to be okay, or okay, I know whatever. And in Neptune, you don't know. The whole point is to get us out of knowing into the space of, oh, no matter what happens, you know that you're held in the womb, and you know that you're held in the tossing of the ocean. the ocean is not a safe place necessarily, but it is in the sense that even if you die, dying is okay. Dying is a safe thing. But there's sharks, there's waves, it's cold, it's hot, it's all, it's everything. And just like the ocean, you can either choose to float along it, which is what I was talking about when I said there's a lot of doing nothing, because in the experience of Neptune, you can really thrash and try. Like when I first got hit with, I was sick at the beginning. I'm calling this the onset of my Neptune initiation, because it felt so Neptune-like. And all the health things that I know, all the herbal remedies I tried to do for myself, none of it worked. And I was using all my energy up, like thrashing around, trying to figure out how I was going to heal myself. And that lasted for a month. And so there's like, okay, finally, all right, I might die. And just having that sense of surrender, like I am not going to fight this anymore. I'm just going to lay here. I'm going to cry and be open to receiving a dream, a vision, just clearing out. That was the beginning of the Neptune initiation. So you may also have some sort of experience at the onset of your Neptune initiation that's confusing, depending upon what the topic is that you're working. And you'll know, because the topic that comes up will feel like something that's completely out of your hands. You can't think your way out of it. You can't physically work your way out of it. And it's meant to bring you to a place of humble humility in the face of the goddess. Okay, so that's your first hit on the 13th of April. I can tell you that it's going to have something to do with your second house. I can tell you that Saturn is going to be involved because it's at a 90-degree angle with your Saturn. And I can also tell you that it has something to do with your fifth house, because that's where Neptune is in the sky. So that is going to be getting work too, like your innocence, the innocence of your sexuality, the creativity of your sexuality, and your the performances that you do, in the sense of performing, like, how you show up. So when you go somewhere, and how your charisma, that part of you, that's going to be involved. But what actually is going to come up, I have no idea, and neither should you really. It's not to say should, but the idea is that you go in knowing that these areas of your chart are being worked, and then being open to the experience, and knowing that it's about not knowing. The phrase that I came up with at the end of the Neptune cycle was that Neptune initiation is the antidote for clarity. So that's kind of a little mantra during the initiation, is to be like, all right, this is for me. This is to get into that dark, spinning womb, watery dream. What is Creator's dream of me? How is Creator dreaming through me? And then letting life answer those questions. Okay, so second hit is on the 12th of September, 2021. And the second hit, first hit shows what the material is. I can't really say what the second hit is. I mean, I feel like the second hit is like, it intensifies. Let's just say that. Because at the onset, you're going to have 2 months before, you're going to have the exact day. And then you're going to have another 2 months where you're just, where am I? What's my name? What is going on? Am I even supposed to be doing this job? It's the onset of midlife crisis, or I've been calling it midlife passage. And then when you get the second hit, from my experience, it's like you probably won't even remember astrology at that point, because you're so deep in the vortex of where am I? Who am I? Things don't even taste the same. different food cravings, different people in your life, you know, like it gives me chills. So, and by the time I had the second hit, so much, I was in completely in illusion, completely in illusion. It was pleasant. It was blissful. I was having a lot of sex. I was having a great time, but there was no groundedness, nothing, no, but it's meant to be that way. This would be the time in life when you take a sabbatical, when you go off and do a vision quest. This is the time for that. So don't worry if you're like, oh my God, I'm so ungrounded and I'm all like illusional or whatever. Like that's what's supposed to be happening. It's like living in a year-long dream. Okay, so then your third hit happens on the 14th of February, 2022. So what I can say about that last hit is that things start to reassemble. Not at the point of the hit, but it's like you start to really be like, oh, okay. So, oh, and it's this really weird feeling of nothing makes sense. And that's how it actually is. So all these times that I've learned something and I'm like, oh, this is it. And I put a solid foundation, a box definition around concepts, and I've defined myself with definitions. At the last hit of the Neptune initiation, you're like, oh, all of those definitions were fake. There's really no way to define things. Like we're using our words to make a definition, and it's not really true. Most of these things that we define are not really true. So Neptune is dissolving boundaries and really getting us back to oneness, back to unity vibration. It's the ultimate Pisces experience. So, and then, okay, I got chills because now it's like, with that, now what? Because after that last hit on the 14th of February, 2022, now moving forward with this boundless sense of reality and actually having an experiential knowing of unknowing and of the timelessness of reality. How do I carry myself forward? So at the end of my initiation, I found a Peruvian shaman who I've been taking teachings from. And at the onset of my Neptune initiation, I found an Aztec teacher who I started learning Aztec dreaming, Aztec healing arts, working with the obsidian mirror and scrying and doing all of these ancient things from Aztec, which is part of my lineage. So that was really cool. And it was at the exact same, around May of 2020 when the initiation started. And the material that I was working with was very much around whatever that was around. And then at the end, I found this Peruvian shaman teacher who is all like love and just more love. It's super polarized. And I'm understanding that. And I'm like, I don't know, like moving forward from the Neptune initiation, how do you continue to define your life and move forward with this boundlessness? So let me know what you come up with on that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Just want to have a peek at this, see what other things you got going on. That really is the main thing. Like, honestly, Jupiter in the sky right now is at 20. You're having a Jupiter initiation on your south node. So at this time, you may be feeling that, Jupiter brings gifts and abundance. So it could be some of your past lives, things that you've known from your past lives, things that you've been in your past lives, like the magic from you, the medicine from you is the old medicine is showing itself in your reality right now. That could be something that you're experiencing. It's like when old gifts come back. So the main thing really is this Neptune initiation though. So bless you. And I would love to hear. I got your poem that you wrote, but I was not in a space for reading it. So I didn't, I was like, oh God, more Neptune. And I just closed it. I didn't even read it. I'm still recovering. I don't really know how to say it otherwise, but um, I'll get back to that and read it and give you some response. So thank you so much. And I love you very much. And I look forward to connecting with you soon.